Starting to question whether I'm doing this right. I'm starting to question whether I even should be bothering. Just nail it together and just drive the damn thing as it is and wait for it to rust apart. Welcome back. Okay, last week we determined that we have a solution. Might not be a great solution, but we have a solution for the floor panel here. So basically what we learned last week was we're going to basically fill this gap with this L bar I've created. I'm going to put one way up in there that comes down, and then the reverse of this comes across and causes a lip there. So I'll put this side on the other side on my next piece. So basically that would be the gist of it. I think I can flip it over and give you the gist of it too. All right, so something like that right there. Something like that. Then that'll give us a piece to weld the floor to on this side, and also shore up the bulkhead on this side. So the first thing to do is bend another piece of this the opposite way, and then to probably cut another piece of this. I don't know how far I'm gonna go. This piece might work for the bottom. It will. Okay, so this piece is gonna work for the bottom. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, I'll fix this part down here to so I can weld to this piece, get that all sorted out. That's gonna work here. All right, that's fine. Okay, so we'll get a measurement and we'll build a new one of those that goes all the way up. Okay, that's the plan. That is the plan. It might not be a great plan, but it is the plan. So, hammer and metal. Dun, dun, dun. Cutting and hammering. Cutting and hammering. All right, I'm gonna do that off camera and then I'll come back with some welding. Okay, we got our piece made. Let's go look and see if it works. We got our piece made. Let's go see if it works. What the heck is going on with this camera? Alright, let's get this where it goes here. Alright. So basically, there's our first piece. We'll do some love tap, get that into place. And then this piece will go on here, such as this. Something like that. And lots of welding I will do, yes! Lined up, babies. All right, that's my plan. I wonder if it's a terrible idea. It looks good to me though, and I'm going with it. Let's get some weld through zinc primer on that, all the metal bare parts, and let's get off as much rust as we can with the wire wheel while we're there, and we'll start on it. What are your thoughts? Ooh, comment in the messages down below. Oh wait, I'm already doing it. So you can still comment that I'm a dumbass. But you can, you know, let me know. Comment. Tell me I'm a dumbass. Mildly challenged human being. It's getting hot. Should have probably stopped while I was ahead. So that corner is a mess. This is just super bad. Had to get the air hammer out to get that to do stuff. Hang on. The air stop making noises. All right, so rust. rest underneath, back in here. So this panel, both sides rested underneath. This is my new patch right here. So I didn't go far enough. I should have gone farther under the body. So if this rest is here, it's probably a little bit under here. Good news is when I went underneath here, the bottom of this is solid. So the top is the surface rust, pitting surface rust that we have to be concerned about. So I'm gonna have to cut more of that apart and build more of this to come this way and shore all of this up, because all of that now is a mess. Should have stopped while I was ahead. It looked too easy when I was doing it. Probably because it was. Okay, so underneath here, I don't know if you can see that. That's another angle of it right there. How nasty that is. So this bulkhead right here needs to go further that way. So I'm gonna cut this piece out, build another piece of bulkhead, extend it out, and then something's gonna happen there, I think, I hope. I don't know. Great. It's awesome. Starting to question whether I'm doing this right. I'm starting to question whether I even should be bothering. Just nail it together and just drive the damn thing as it is and wait for it to rust apart. No. All right, let's not be lazy about it. Let's do it right if we can the first time. Right. Is right right? I don't know if right's right. Let's just do it. We're gonna repair it the best we can. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we tried. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm gonna try. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. If this was the winter time, we'd be wondering if we were freezing to death, but not recently. So, there we are today. We're still early in the day. It's like just barely noon, I think. Okay, more work. Okay, so I've come in here, I've remitted a bunch more rust off of there. I've put 2 coats of primer on it. I need to build this patch, or something that's going to pass for a patch. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. So we're going to put that all together now. I need to get some metal and some measurements and start seeing if I can make that patch. That's what we're doing. I primered all the other pieces too, so we've got primered pieces drying in the sun. I got acetone on my leather gloves, so I'm gonna have to let those dry so I don't catch on fire accidentally. That would be no fun, probably. I'm gonna regret that. All right, okay, there we are. All right, gloves have to dry before I can do any more work. So I'm going to investigate my measurements and maybe make a patch or 2 and see what happens with that. Worried about the camera getting hot, so I turned it off and I set it on the air conditioner so it doesn't overheat. Do they make a camera that doesn't overheat? All right, let's get you caught up. All right, after making a mess out of this and then thinking about it, I measured a bunch of stuff and I looked at it again, and I measured and I cut and oh bugger. And then I thought about it some more, and then I thought about, that's interesting, how's that going to work? And then I had a moment of doubt and anguish, and my curvy bend piece is about the same cut distance there short. So I really need to redo another one. So I have another piece of strap here that I'm going to bend and cut into so I can make a curve out of it. So I'm gonna do some of that. That'll be entertaining. Then I'm gonna measure and cut it and slide it in there. All right, let's see how we did. We cut it a little long just in case I made a mistake. So that's good. So encouraging words for me would be that I way overcut it, and that's good. That's okay. That looks like that's going to be okie dokie. So let's measure. Let's get a cutter and let's cut something. Let's get a measurement. No. Let's get a marker. All right, we're gonna get a marker and we're gonna mark where we want the bottom to stop. And that's somewhere up here underneath. That's okay. Very wet cut. And then that mark right there, it's gonna be where we cut the back off. All right, let's try that. Fingers crossed. We're not psychopaths trying to get something done we can't do. We're gonna get this done. All right, more cutting. Okay, day 2. Second day of this same experiment. It's gonna be nasty today. I cut loose early yesterday to get my yard cut due to the tornado storms that were coming. We were under high watch due to conditions in the atmosphere that could lead to tornadoes. So we have to be really aware of that here. So I went out and I did all my grass cutting, which was pretty cool because all the clouds came over and it cooled it off a little bit for me to be out there doing it. So that worked out pretty good for me. But otherwise, the rest of this did not work out so good. Made a huge mistake. Like, you know, it never happens. But remember my piece I cut, which is in the previous segments, it's short. You know why? Because I did not have this piece in its proper location. I actually had it out here where it was, instead of being flush or down here where it's supposed to be, I have it out here. So when you put the new piece on, yep, that's it, Eric. It's not bent enough, and second, there's a gap underneath here that doesn't get covered. So I either have a gap up there in this spot, or I put it in the right place and I have a gap down here, which basically means I have an opening. Can you see that from the bottom maybe? Let's go to the other side and look. You can see it from here. I either have this gap right here, or I have a gap on the other side. Neither are to my liking. So I gotta make another one. It's good practice, you might say. Yeah, it's good practice. All right, so I've measured it out again. I'm gonna cut another piece off and do that. So let's get started. That camera angle didn't work. Okay, we have our piece. We've made a measurement, we've made a mark down here where we think the edge of the floorboard, spider landing on me while I'm working. Okay, let's go somewhere else, spider. Okay, so there we have it. So I'm gonna go measure it again and make sure it's right. Okay, let's fit it. It's right there. Get in there, baby. Okay, what are the key points here? So I need to build something across here to here, and it needs to go, so that's gonna be 2 patches, I think. Because I just basically need to fix the outer piece here. I need to add a part of the bulkhead here. And then I need to come back here with another piece across somehow to cover the floor to that piece. Okay, that's what I think I've got to do. That didn't go as well as I hoped it would. Okay, let's call that okay for now until I take a look at it a little tighter. I see some gaps. I need to weld some gaps closed. So I'm gonna do that now. Those are poppy. Those are terrible welds. All right, let's get the grinder going. I went to town while you were on hiatus while the I had the camera on the air conditioner because it got too hot. This is not pretty, and I haven't ground it yet, but you can see that I had to marry these 3 pieces together here, and that's a lot of drops, isn't it? And I have no fantasy that that's not going to rest. I haven't a clue. how to keep that from rusting right there. So as much as I've cussed seam sealer, it's gonna have a lot of seam sealer packed into it, and more than one coat of paint, and then more than one coat of truck bed liner. It'll go as long as it'll go. This is a complicated part of the truck, and without taking the entire body off and being able to work on it from multiple angles, this is really complicated and very difficult. I don't know, and I didn't buy any of the pieces to just cut it all out and replace it, so it's just gonna be what it is. That is ugly, but it is together mostly. All right, so I need to decide what I'm gonna do here. I haven't decided yet. I might just make, let me go get my pen. Let's get our pen. This is thinking out loud and thinking in progress. It's problem solving on the fly, as they say. So it might make sense, come on, Cap. Nice. It might make sense to cut these welds out here and then cut this straight across and put a patch in between. So this and this are married up. Then this floor piece would be complete to there. And this hole would be gapped. This hole is important because that's where the water will come in. So it does need to be sealed there. I think that's probably the way to get it done. And then seam sealing the hell out of this. I'm gonna grind off all of these welds to the best of my ability with the tool I have in the limited location I have to use it, meaning an angle grinder, and give it all a big coat of spray paint. Primer probably. That's all we're gonna have for today. This weekend, actually. I'll get this up tonight probably, or tomorrow morning, and that'll be it for this week. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you commenting. I did get a comment last week. That was nice. I definitely am over my head on this project, but we're gonna do the best we can. Next steps are to do the cut I just showed you and then attempt to put in a floor. That's gonna be entertaining. There's some complexities there with those nipple bends, those trundles or whatever you wanna call them, that are for support. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that yet. Not real sure. I don't have a tool to make one of those. I did watch the guy on Make It Custom, and he built a jig and got an air hammer and and he's probably done that a couple of times. I've never done it. I don't know that I can do it. I'm not even sure I want to try. I don't have the router bits that would take to get that done. So anyway, all right, thanks for tuning in. This is probably a long video. I'll make it as short as I can. And well, I'm making it as short as I can, and thank you for sitting all the way through it if you did. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.